Man, you ever wonder what makes a car a legend? Not some shiny new tech toy, but a machine with soul, built to outlast empires. I am talking about 12 classic Chevrolets that still run circles around today, as cookie-cutter rides. Stick with me, cause by the end, I am dropping a secret about one Chevy that LL blow your minda, hidden gem, even hardcore gearheads, sleep on. This is Full Throttle Classics, where we live for the roar of engines and the smell of burnt rubber. Let's hit the road. Picture this. It's 1969, and a Chevy Camaro Z28 is tearing down a back road 302 V8, screaming like a banshee. That car, still out there, still humming, while half the EVs today are bricking in driveways. Why? Cause Chevy used to build like tanks raw unfiltered. No computers babysitting your every move. We're diving into 12 of these beasts that laugh at time, from muscle cars to pickups, each with a story that'll make your heart race. First up, the 1967 Impala. This thing's a land yacht. 427 big block churning out 385 horses, yet smooth enough to cruise with your grandma. I saw one last summer, cherry red, at a car show in Tulsa. Owners swore it's been driven since Nixon was in office. No major rebuilds. Compare that to a modern sedan, good luck getting 50 years out of one. The Impala's got this timeless swagger, like it knows it's cooler than you. Chevy built it to last, with a frame that could survive a meteor strike. Then there's the 1970 Chevelle SS 454. Holy hell, this thing's a monster. LS6 engine, 450 horsepower. Unofficial quarter-mile times that'd make a Dodge Demon sweat. A buddy of mine, Tommy, has one in his garage. He fired it up last week, and the ground shook like an earthquake. Today's muscle cars. They're fast, sure, but they're all traction control and touchscreens. The Chevelle don't care about your WIF, it's pure, unhinged power. Back in '70, Chevy was slinging these out like they were daring you to tame M. Let's talk trucks. The 1972 C10 pickup, simple as a hammer, tough as nails. I knew a guy who hauled lumber with his C10 for 40 years. Still runs like it's pissed off at the world. Today's trucks are bloated with gadget-seated seats, lane assist, blah blah blah. The C10 just needs gas and a driver with a pulse. That's why you still see him hauling hay or dragging hot rods to shows. Chevy knew how to make a workhorse that didn't quit. Now, here's a curveball. The 1984 Chevy K5 Blazer. Before SUVs were glorified minivans, the K5 was a beast. Removable top, 4x4 grit, and a 350 V8. That'd climb a damn mountain. I remember my uncle talking me off-roading in one. Mud flying, laughing like maniacs. Modern crossovers, they're scared of a speed bump. The K5's still out there, outlasting every plastic wannabe off-roader. It's the kind of rig that makes you want to ditch civilization for a week. Let's not sleep on the 1955 Bel Air. This thing's a rolling work of art, chrome trim gleaming like it's winking at you. The 265 V8 was Chevy's first real stab at a small block, and it changed the game. A guy in my town's got one, drives it to church every Sunday, 70 years young. Try that with the 2025 model. The Bel Air's got this vibe, like it's whispering stories of sock hops and drag strips. It's not just a car, it's a time machine. Here's a weird one. The 1963 Chevy II Nova, not the flashiest, but a sleeper hit. Lightweight, nimble, and with a 327 stuffed in it, it'd spank Corvettes at stoplights. A mechanic I know swears his Nova's been to hell and back, still starts every morning. Compare that to today's compacts, all disposable plastic and planned obsolescence. The Nova's proof Chevy could make an underdog that bites. Let's swing to the 1990 C1500 454 SS, a pickup with a muscle car heart. Blacked out 454 big block. It was Chevy's middle finger to slow trucks. I saw one smoke a Mustang at a drag strip last year, driver grinning like he stole it. Modern performance trucks are cool, but they're over-engineered. The 454 SS was just raw, dumb fun. You don't drive it, you wrestle it. Now, the 1978 Malibu. Don't sleep on the 1969 Corvette Stingray, that C3 body's a sculpture, all curves and menace. The 427 L88 option. Only 116 made, and they're worth more than my house. Now, a friend's dad has one, says it's like riding a pissed-off shark. Modern vets are tech marvels, but the Stingray's got soul you can't code into a chip. Let's hit the 1987 Monte Carlo SS aerodynamic nose, T-tops, and a 305 V8 that was underrated as hell. These things were everywhere in the 80s, and you still spot M at cruise nights, looking like they just rolled off the lot. A guy I met at a diner had one with 300,000 miles still purrs. Good luck getting that from a modern luxury coupe. The 1996 Impala SS, last of the real ones, 5.7-liter LT1, rear-wheel drive, and a look that'd make a Prius cry. Chevy brought back the Impala name for this brawler, and it's still a cult favorite. I saw one outrun a Charger at a track day. Crowd losing their minds. Today's performance sedans. They're playing catch-up, alright? The 1957 Chevy 3100. This truck's a freaking icon, rounded fenders. That grille like a chrome smile. Farmers, hot rodders, everyone loves. I saw one at a show, restored by a guy who got it from his grandpa. Still hauls, still shines. Modern trucks wish they had half that charm. Now, the secret gem I promised. The 1965 Chevy Corvair, Monza. Yeah, I know. The Corvair gets a bad rap, Ralph Nader called it unsafe at any speed. But hear me out. That rear-mounted air-cooled flat six, weird as hell, but it made the Corvair handle like a dream. A guy in my car club's got one, turbo model, and it's a rocket. Chevy was talking risks, trying something wild. Today's cars, they're too scared to be different. The Corvair's a reminder of when Chevy had the guts to go rogue, and it's still out there proving the haters wrong. So, why did these Chevys outlast everything? 'Cause they were built by people who gave a damn. Not algorithms, chaz and profit margins. They've got stories etched in their steel road trips, drag races, first dates, modern cars, their gadgets. These classics, their family. So here's the question, lingering in my mind, and I want it to stick with you. What s it gonna take for today's cars to earn that kind of immortality? Hit the comments, tell me your favorite classic Chevy story, and let's keep the passion alive. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up.